Okay, I'm just here, I'm stirring my blueberries and my pectin mixture over medium heat. And you don't want to put it on high heat because putting it on high heat could make it boil too quickly and your pectin won't set right. So the recipe here called for 4 cups of blueberries, which I put in a measuring cup and mashed them. I did not puree them, I mashed them. And then I put them in this large stock pot and I sprinkled 1 box of pectin over the top. Now this is pectin that is for regular sugar recipes, not the low sugar recipe. Make sure you get the right kind. And I'm just waiting for this mixture to come to a full rolling boil, or as my grandmother would say, a boil that cannot be stirred down. So we wait. And we're almost there. It's just about where I can add the sugar. When this comes to a full rolling boil, I'm going to dump in 4 cups of sugar. Now you can do this with honey, you can do this with sweetener, but you're going to have to read the recipe and use the appropriate pectin, because if you use honey or if you use a sugarless sweetener, then you're going to have to use a different kind of pectin that is particularly designed for those types of jam making. So we're almost here. We're almost to a full rolling boil, and as soon as I get there, I'm going to have Molly come over with the camera, and I'm going to have her show you what it looks like at a full rolling boil. And now I have prepared 6 canning jars, 8-ounce jelly jars, that I have sterilized in the canner for 10 minutes, and they're waiting to be filled up with this delicious jam. And I previously went ahead and I washed the jars before I sterilized them to kill any bugs that might be living in there, because nobody wants to get botulism when they're eating peanut butter and jelly. Now Molly just had you take a look at this, and it is almost to a full rolling boil. It's kind of steamy over here. If we put the camera over here, it's going to get fogged up. So you can see maybe that it's boiling. And I'm just stirring. You don't want it to, burn on the bottom, so you want to keep it moving. But you can see that it is boiling, and I was not able to stir that down because as soon as I stopped stirring, it did come back to a full boil. So I'm stirring and it's still boiling, so it's time to add our sugar, and that's what I'm going to go ahead and do. I'm just going to add, that's 4 cups of sugar that I have pre-measured. You'll also notice that I am stirring not with a wooden spoon, not with a plastic spoon. I'm stirring with a metal spoon. It is highly recommended that you use only a metal spoon to stir your boiling hot jam mixture, because bacteria can live in a wooden spoon. Bacteria can also live in a plastic spoon, not to mention that the hot boiling liquid and the hot boiling sugar in this jam mixture could potentially melt a plastic spoon, and I don't think you want that in your jam. So we're just going to stir. We have to bring this jam back to a full rolling boil, and then we have to boil it for 1 minute exactly, according to the manufacturer's directions on the pectin box. Now, today we're doing blueberry jam. I was thinking about doing some pineapple jam later, which is super easy because all you use is canned crushed pineapple. And if I do that, I'm going to make a video for you too. But now, each fruit takes different processing times. Each fruit takes different measurements, different amounts of fruit, different amounts of sugar, and each fruit that you're going to use makes different quantities of jam. Now, you may get to the end and make your 6 jars, and you may end up with a little bit. You're going to not want to process that jar. You're going to want to leave that out. And you're going to want to do that because there will be too much headspace in that jar for you to process it. Just leave it out, eat it over ice cream for dessert tonight, or put it in your refrigerator and have it on toast in the morning. So we're just going to take a break. We're going to wait for this to come to a full rolling boil again, and then we're going to show you what we're going to do next.